Multiculturalism. The word doesn't appear in Julia Gillard's cabinet, and you couldn't get Howard to say it, but on the streets of Melbourne, people are talking about it. Nazim Hussain is a Melbourne-based comedian, and he's one half of the very popular stand-up comedy show Fear of a Brown Planet.
It's basically about our lives growing up brown in a predominantly white society. We talk about issues like multiculturalism, the war on terror, Islam, sedition, all that fun, happy stuff that we always talk about on the street, right?
And he says he's had some pretty interesting reactions from his multicultural audience.
Often brown people are concerned or scared to laugh if they're not if they don't see enough white people in the audience, because then they feel like we're picking on white people without them being there. Often white people are scared to laugh because they're not sure if it's racist if they do laugh. So sometimes you get people who hesitate to just relax and laugh.
He says comedy's a great way to talk about something that might be a bit confronting.
If comedy can affect someone that much that they actually walk out of a show, well then, hey, we've done our job. No, the thing is, look, if people are thinking, that's good. That's all we can ask for.
One place where they're thinking about multiculturalism is the North Melbourne Football Club. At their new facility, they have a range of ways of getting the locals to join in the chorus. Sash Hercheg is the manager of community programs.
So earlier this year, we've initiated a community ambassador program. Currently we've got 4 ambassadors of North Melbourne Football Club, and I guess the whole idea behind that program is to engage our multicultural communities and engage people who generally wouldn't know much about football or our club for that matter.
For a club such as North Melbourne, multiculturalism isn't some hippie let's all get along concept. If they can't engage with their community, well, they haven't got much of a financial future.
North Melbourne has always been an area of high multicultural population. So I guess over the last 20 years we've had a large influx of Horn of Africa communities.
In fact, North Melbourne have signed the AFL's first African-born player. His name is Majak Dor, and the club is hoping for big things.
A few years ago, Essendon recruited Bashir Houli, who was the first practicing Muslim in the AFL, and on his debut, pretty much the whole of Islamic Victoria, if not Australia, was right behind him in Essendon Football Club. I guess what we would hope for, certainly for Majak and his community, is that would happen for him. So first of all, that he would make his AFL debut, but also have his community, not only Sudanese, but pretty much all African community, and probably more important, mainstream community right behind him.
But multiculturalism isn't just about the newest wave of migrants. Australia's biggest wave of migration from Greece happened in the post-war period, and now Melbourne is home to one of the largest Greek communities outside of Athens. Neos Cosmos was founded in 1957 as Australia's Greek newspaper. Ross Carabas is the acting editor of the English version of the paper, and he says multiculturalism isn't what it used to be.
That idea of we're all Australians and we're all entitled to equal cultural representation has been replaced by what I call the ethnic pride. I think it's about being Greek and Italian. Oh, isn't it lovely that those Greeks and Italians have actually maintained their heritage?
And Ross says he finds this new multiculturalism quite disappointing.
Because for me it was never about being Greek and Greeks are the best, which is what it becomes essentialised down to. It was actually about we're all Australians, and my experience is just as valid as anyone else's.
Margaret Paul for Election Wire.